Hi, my name is Otto Gotti and I recently started a learning journey attempting to assemble a Mercury Cougar Eliminator from the year 1969. Currently the piston rings and connecting rods are already assembled, so now we have to jump into the timing chain. But first I would like to outline for you guys which is the plan that I want to follow on the assembly process, or at least the steps that I want to follow. So yeah, let's go for it. Today's video, theoretically, is about the timing assembly, these components that you see here. But first, before I show you how did I place these components here, I wanna kind of take a step back and talk big picture on this project. The basic thing is, I don't recall that I've ever discussed the steps that I wanna execute. What I want to do is basically draw out a little plan of the things that I'll be doing in a certain way, sequentially. So let's talk big picture. Theoretically, my project starts with the chassis. With the chassis, I can attach the body of the car, so all the body panels. With the chassis and the body, I can work, theoretically speaking, in my axles and the suspension, which my car already have, but I'm gonna be upgrading in a later moment. With this, theoretically, we can jump into the drivetrain. The drivetrain is basically the engine, which is what we are currently working on, the transmission, the drive shaft. The drive shaft on its place is connected to the rear differential. With this, theoretically, power goes from the engine to the transmission, drive shaft, differential, axles, wheels. Theoretically, your car can run already. Of course, it cannot because it doesn't have brake system, steering, coolant, electrical system, everything else. And this is the things that follow kinda naturally. So from this, we can do the electrical system of the car. So all the auxiliary systems, the lights, for example, enter in this. The cooling system. So all the hoses, the water pump and everything that will already be part of the engine build, but enter after the engine is assembled on the car. From that, we can jump into the brake lines. Theoretically, the brake lines already exist on this car as well, but I'm going to upgrade them. I have a full set of disc brakes that I already bought along with the modern suspension that I'm going to be assembling on this car in the future. And with this, you can work on the interior of your car, and that's done. And once the car is done, you can do burnouts. And we will be doing them a long time away from now, but we will be doing them. So now, with the big picture defined, I can pick one of the items here, and let's make a second list, and I can start explaining it in more details. What are the steps to assembling this? So this is what I'm gonna be preparing myself to do now. So, because I don't know. Okay, the 1969 shop car manual from Ford describing the engine components places 63 steps to assemble an engine. Of course, by the lack of space in here, I grouped them in more meaningful, well, basically made it short so I can speak about it. First, the car plugs to the engine block, camshaft, rear oil seals, crankshaft, pistons and connecting rods, timing chain, fuel pump, front oil seals, front cover, power steering pulley, water pump, fuel pump, cylinder heads, exhaust manifold, spark plugs, oil pump, drive shafts, plus the pickup line, prime the oil pump, intake manifold, valve rocker arms, distribution cap, plus the wires, carburetor, rear cover plate. Theoretically, your engine is done. One thing that I noticed in the manual, along the whole assembly process, the 63 steps, Ford does not mention for you to put the oil pan on the engine block. Don't miss that. It's a very, very basic, simple thing, but it's not mentioned in the 63 steps of the engine assembly recommendation. The engine assembly recommendation also mentions for you to rotate the engine up and down a couple times, so it's easier for you. For example, if you're working on the cylinder heads, that you're working standing up, of course, instead of upside down. But yeah, Ford, maybe I'm suggesting a revision on your manual. You should put the engine pan, the oil pan. But yeah, so on my current project, on my current engine, the beginning steps, so car plugs are placed. There's only one missing on the rear of the engine that I will do later. Camshaft is done. My pen is not working. Oil seals are done. Crankshaft is installed. Piston and connecting rods are installed. Timing chain and sprockets. This is today's video. Today is the first time, or the first step that I'm doing, that starts to enter in the risky territory of building an engine. Of course, everything that you do is important, every step that you do is important, but this step is the first step that if I do wrong, I am sure that I will damage the engine once I run it, because these two sprockets and chain is called the timing assembly. This is what connects the crankshaft to the camshaft. And what does it do? As this rotates, the crankshaft rotates, this assembly is going to rotate the camshaft, and the camshaft on its roll gonna push um, the lifters that push rods that eventually actuate the rockers from the valves. If I do this incorrectly, once this is rotating, the valves and the pistons might collapse one to the other. And if I do this incorrectly, I am sure that the very first time that I start this engine, I'm basically going to destroy the engine. So I really don't want to do this incorrectly. This assembly offers me three orientations. One of them is neutral, the other one is 4 degrees in advance, and the other one is 4 degrees retarded. I'm gonna do 0-0. I'm gonna show this in more details later. Since my car is a build intended for street use, I intended this car might be a kind of daily driver. I will just place it in 0-0. Let's see how it goes. What does the manual tell us about the installation? The first thing are the couple features that you can use to locate the crankshaft, camshaft timing, the whole assembly. The first one is this dowel that exists on the camshaft gear. The second one is this dot that exists on the crankshaft gear, the chain itself. There's also a dot that exists on the camshaft gear, and they all have to be in line. So now all these features are in line. I have to remove this bolt, which means I have to yank it a bit and hope it doesn't remove the alignment that I just did, which worked. Now I can remove this guy. Now we can come with the crankshaft gear, camshaft gear, and install it. Oh, Now we just have to torque this one. Now, what I want to tackle on the next video, since that we concluded this and this, also this is also replaced. What I want to tackle on the next video is finish the lower part of the engine block. So I'm talking about the oil pump, oil pickup, and the oil pan. Chat. That's it. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.